Remember when Danielle Smith said how important diplomacy is? Well, do as I say, not as I do, Danielle didn't quite use that yesterday. At his request, I met with Prime Minister Mark Carney. I made it clear Alberta will no longer tolerate the way that we've been treated by the federal Liberals for the past 10 years. I provided a list of demands. The next Prime Minister, regardless of who it is, must address in the first 6 months of their term. How diplomatic. She must have used up all of her manners when she was in Florida and Texas and wherever the hell else she's been. Now people say I need to give a trigger warning when I have her speak. Trigger warning!
This amendment to the Critical Infrastructure Defense Act provides an extra tool to safeguard essential infrastructure from interference, and that includes interference from Ottawa. I would certainly hope that the new Prime Minister has taken the time to read our Constitution, and I would direct him to pay specific attention to Section 92A, which gives the province, not the federal government, the exclusive jurisdiction over non-renewable natural resource development. Alberta will continue in its pursuit of doubling our oil and gas production to meet the growing global demand for energy. And we will not let Ottawa stand in our way. We will not tolerate the continuous unconstitutional overreaches made by the federal Liberal government. Measures like the emissions cap, the net zero electricity regs, the net zero electric vehicle mandate, and the energy industry advertising ban must be stopped now. And make no mistake, Alberta will do whatever it takes to shield our economy from the Liberals' growth-killing lunacy.
Boy, does she mean business. Let's look at the Constitution. In each province, the legislature may, not shall, but may, exclusively make laws in relation to her favorite, exploration for non-renewable natural resources in the province. Okay. Now in Section 2, it says each province may make laws in relation to the export from the province to other parts of Canada. Non-renewable natural resources, forestry, blah, blah, blah. But in Article 3, it also talks about the authority of Parliament, where there is conflict about laws. The law of Parliament supersedes the law of the province. You can't be shady, or else Parliament gets to ultimately decide. And that has to do with the export from Alberta to anywhere else in Canada, which is important when she's basically saying we need to create pipelines. Up, down, left, right, all over Canada. And she's always really upset about like plastic bags. So she wants whichever government is going to be in power to give her everything that she wants. Again, very diplomatic. It's reminiscent of somebody. Because what she mentioned was the Critical Infrastructure Defense Act, which really started off as a means of not having protesters impede upon railways, highways, critical infrastructure. But she's turned it into these invisible walls around Alberta that are going to restrict anything and anybody from Ottawa having anything to do with Alberta. That damn overreach is so diplomatic. And then in true political interference, she's encouraging all Albertans to get involved with the next federal election. We need people advocating for Alberta, freeing us from federal overreach. Oh, to have the confidence of a mediocre conservative politician whose government is under allegations for overreach. Do you see that? Danny's gonna lick the boots of the orange blob. This dingbat whose new slogan is boots, not suits. Meanwhile, Pierre's reached out to Doug Ford and allegedly, Dougo said he's too busy to help Pierre. I got a province to run. I think he doesn't want to place his bets with the loser. Maybe you need to take Dougo's advice, Danny. Instead of worrying about everything outside of Alberta, why don't you worry about all the shady shit the UCP is doing inside Alberta? Nah. You just keep going with that plausible deniability. Keep fighting for those plastic straws. Maybe that'll be your legacy, because you got nothing else.